love. Why you gonna ask right? How you gonna trip? How can you forget? How you gonna act? How you act? Hey y'all, I'm back. All my you know I'm willing to do anything just to keep you open. I messed around and give up everything that I know you. Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm back. So I really should have washed the fabric before I started to cut them out. But I didn't realize how bad like the fabric was. I don't know why white fabric isn't protected in the fabric store anyway. But I ended up cutting already and I had to wash them. So now I have to use my serger instead of single stitching. Ugh. I messed around and gave up anything. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I was a player and I made a choice to give my heart to you. And I wanna keep it that way. How you gonna up and leave me now? Why you gonna act like that? I just have to charge this phone for a little bit first before I can put it closer on the table. You know we been making a. Let me bring you a little closer. I don't know where I put the. Oh, I found it. A charger. I gotta charge this phone right here. You gotta plug this phone in on here so it can charge while we talk. Oh crap. How's y'all doing? Okay. Plugged in. Alright, I think we're good to go. Okay.
And so then not only am I not making the change, but I also feel worse about myself. So it's a vicious cycle. And in years past, when I wasn't in therapy, these types of situations would kind of cause me to emotionally spiral, and it would really negatively affect my whole life. But like I just mentioned, because I'm in therapy, when I have those negative thought loops, I turn to my therapist to try to deal with them.
Oh, let's hear this story.
Listen, y'all. She trying to figure out if her man cheated on her with her best friend. Now, I done watched this video about 2 times, twice, and I finally got the part 2 to it, so I can add that as well to it, just to give y'all a little bit more context of what she is talking about. But yeah, just think about that. Watch this video and ask yourself, is her man cheating, or is she just tripping? Sometimes women, y'all be tripping, y'all be tripping. It be nothing sometimes. But I don't know. Her story kind of sounds very convincing, but I'm gonna let you guys, come to the conclusion. Check this out.
Story time on when I was trying to figure out if my best friend and my boyfriend was fucking with each other. So at one point, both of them lived with me. I stay in Atlanta. My best friend at the time stayed in a different state. She told me that she was trying to move up here and find her a career and all that stuff. I said, cool. My only requirement was that she had a job before she moved, because she asked if she could come stay with me for a little bit. Now, mind you, she also had 2 kids. I was cool with that. Now, when a week later, she told me that she secured a job and that she was on her way that weekend. Cool. When she got with me, everything was good in the beginning until like my bills started getting higher and stuff like that, and I noticed little stuff like around the house that I didn't appreciate. Like, okay, we clearly don't live the same, and that's okay. So the first few months she stayed with me, I was telling her, like, I don't mind, I don't want no money from you or anything like that, but like, if you notice I'm getting low around the house or anything, like, help with a little bit, like, okay, if you need tissue, just get tissue or something like that. So anytime, at the time, I didn't have a washer and dryer in my house, so we'd be going to the laundromat every week. And whenever I did laundry, I washed me and my kids' clothes and her kids' clothes. But when it came down to her doing laundry, she only would wash her and her kids' clothes. So naturally, I did kind of feel some type of way about that. In addition to that, when she would be using my blankets, towels, and stuff like that, but she would always leave that separately and only wash her clothes. So I felt some type of way. Now, I did have a little talk with her about it and things like that. She was having trouble finding a place to stay, so she ended up staying with me longer than she anticipated. In addition to that, she didn't really have a job. Like, she had one of them jobs where you go door to door selling stuff. Like, come on now, let's be realistic. We know that's not really a job. So I was kind of upset about that, but she ended up finding a work from home job, and she was working from home. And one of her kids was staying home with her because she was still working on trying to get them in school. Okay, fast forward, I was feeling a bit overwhelmed with so many people being in the house with me at that point in time, but I would never want to make her feel uncomfortable or anything like that. So I did have a boyfriend at this time. He had his own house. He lived like legit like around the corner from me type shit. I ended up being involved in a house fire with him, and his house burned down. So he asked me if he could stay with me too, and I'm always a giving person, so I said yes. Now, everybody around me, my other best friend, my cousins, everybody was like, that's not a good idea. You shouldn't move your boyfriend and your best friend in that same house. Somebody can't stay or whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to do that to me because these 2 people that I care about and shit like that. So, naive me, I did let both of them stay with me. My boyfriend was home most of the days. She also works from home. I work hybrid, so some days I was not there. Now, my boyfriend started telling me stuff like, oh, while you gone, she can't handle them kids. The house always loud. She really just be outside smoking all the time. She don't really be handling them kids and stuff. And I was like, just stall her out, because I knew that she was going through certain shit or whatever. Now, mind you, when both of these people, all these extra people living with me, I had to pick up a second job. So I started working at the club at night. And I also used to go back home to Chicago a lot and stuff like that to, transport my son or anything. So I was talking to my cousin in Chicago, and he was like, where your boyfriend and your best friend? I said, oh, they at the house. And he was like, and you in Chicago and you love both of them? And I was like, I trust both of them. Well, I'm trying to, that they wouldn't do no shit like that to me. Again, naive me. And my cousin kept saying it like green as hell. And I'm like, I don't think I'm green because I'm really trying to put faith in him and shit like that. But shit, he was right. So it was little other stuff going on in the house. Like, okay, I felt like it was getting so bad to where I'm like, damn, I don't feel like we're going to be friends any longer if I still allow her to stay with me. Yeah. So I did a hard decision. I had a conversation with her. I told her, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I was like, to preserve our friendship, I really think that we need to live separately and stuff like that. By this time, I think we had like 5 months or something like that. Now, I think around month 3 or so, I did tell her like, okay, you got to start helping me because the bills is getting higher. So I did tell her to pay me $400 a month. Now, sometimes she was late on that $400, but I wasn't really tripping because I didn't really need the money. I could pay my rent and all that shit by myself. It was really like the principle. So my boyfriend moved out also. He ended up going to stay at an Airbnb that was still close by through his insurance. Now, I did still spend a lot of time with him and things like that because she would say, oh, just go ahead, I got them or whatever like that. And she also wanted to sleep in my bed. So she was like, if you spend the night over there, I can sleep in your bed. And I was cool with that. My only rule was like, please don't sleep and have your children sleeping in my bed because they wasn't fully potty trained at the time and stuff like that. I was like, or just put them on a pull-up. But she never really listened to me, and I feel like it was a lot of disrespect to me at my house. So, okay, I gave her like, 60 days. I said, this is a 60-day notice, enough time for you to find however you want to go about it. But I feel like certain aspects you're taking advantage of, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave my house. So she ended up moving out, and she treated me like I was the ops. Like, she left while I was at work and shit. I just seen her on my camera taking shit and, like, took my blankets and stuff like that. But again, she was my best friend, so I'm not really tripping on that. I'm thinking, like, we'll get back good and everything. Now, mind you, in the midst of this, my best friend also, at the time, she was doing hair or trying to start out doing hair.
Back, y'all.
My boyfriend had locks. And I was like, well, he could be your first client. So I'm convincing him, like, let her do your hair and stuff like that. So everybody can, get acquainted and that she can have some source of income. So she started doing his hair and shit like that. Now, because she was new, it was like with locks and stuff, sometimes you cut and everything like that. She was learning from YouTube. I guess she messed up a few things, but again, she was learning. And I kept reminding him of that, but he was pissed off. Like, I don't want her doing my hair and shit like that. And he was telling me, you need to pay for somebody else to do my hair because it's your fault. So I did agree to that, but I was like, let her, give her a chance to try to fix it and stuff like that. I never told her any of this. But when me and him ended up breaking up. All right, so when we broke up, he started harassing me, like dead ass harassing me, blowing my phone up from different text apps and stuff like that. But it ended up coming out that he was like, that's why I fucked your best friend. I'm gonna fuck her again. She gonna keep doing my hair and all this shit. And I'm finna boss her so she can be bossed up. It was a whole bunch of bullshit like that. So now, me and her haven't talked in like a few weeks. But we still friends on social media and stuff like that. I'm like, just give her time. She and her feelings. And this is not the first time I've had somebody to stay with me. So I know, like, when you like place boundaries, a lot of people feel some type of way about that. So that shit was hard. So I'm like, okay, just give her time. But when he said like she finna come to my house right now and stuff like that, I'm curious to know. So when I see on her page that she posted that she did his hair. No, she didn't post it. He sent it to me like she did my hair and stuff. Okay, I'm calling you. Because I'm like, damn, you supposed to be my best friend. Like, if I cut this man off, I'm kind of feeling like you should do the same. Real shit. I am. Because you met him through me, and then at this point, he's harassing me and shit like that. So she ended up coming to me and telling me he's my client, and I'm not doing any of that, and like we ops and shit. So I told the truth, like, I did to her. I was like, he's only doing this because he's trying to get back at me. He pissed off at me and stuff like that. And he told me, like, yeah, I'm gonna purposely do this with your best friend. And I'm like, and he's saying that y'all fuck with each other. So she never denied the claims that she fucked him. So now I'm thinking, like, damn, you the ops or something? Like, what you want? Yeah. And she said that I was basically like just jealous or some shit like that. And that shit threw me. So okay, at this point, I'm really not fucking with either one of them and shit like that. But most shit started coming out. He kept sending me messages like he fucking with her. And then my other best friend, like on TikTok, when she was posting the videos, she was putting certain captions when she posted him doing his hair, saying, wouldn't want to be anywhere else, with the little heart emoji, the little. I'll put the emojis on here so y'all can see the emojis I'm referring to. But that's the shit that she did. And my other best friend was like, I ain't want to tell you because I'm like, you was already going through a lot, and I felt like that was fucked up. But she said I felt like that was wrong. And I'm like, hell no, whatever's going on, I need to know. Tell me. So I know I posted this previous video. Everybody talking about, oh, well, he deserved better and stuff. No, he doesn't. Because if you watch my last video, you'll know more in detail about some certain shit that went on. But more of the story, he had been cheating, and I guess he was cheating with her also. And I really just need to stop it. Okay, I said I was gonna stop the video, but I'm gonna just add this small little part. So I used to tell her when I was coming home before they both had moved out. Well, he had moved out, but she was still living with me. And I said, "Hey, I'm coming home, so I'm sleeping in my bed tonight." When I got there 1 in the morning, she was still sleeping in my bed with her daughter or whatever. Now the problem came in. I was like, "Girl, I told you I was coming home." It was nothing. I woke her up and she lifted the covers. It was like, "Oh, y'all can just get in with me." Mind you, my man is standing right there, so I'm like, "What you on, bro?" And I didn't say anything there, but I did tell my other best friend the next day, and I was like, "Damn, am I tripping? Because it's giving you want to fuck my man or something." I was like, that shit threw me off. So when I talked to my best friend about it, she said, "You ain't wrong. I would have reacted the same way." So I ended up having a conversation with her, and she brushed it like, "Oh, my bad, bro." And that's all she said, but she kept doing little shit after that. So that's what kind of gave me an indication, like, it's some little shit going on that I don't know about.
Yep.
Now listen, I already know what y'all thinking. After hearing that first part, it still was a lot of answers that needed to be answered. So I waited and I waited for her to come out with the part 2. And finally, she did come out with that part 2, giving us more details. So check this out.
Okay, I'm gonna use your comments to answer some of the questions that people had in the comments. Somebody asked, why did I charge her rent and not him, and she had kids. So I mentioned in the first video that she was living with me for a few months. I think she moved out at like 7 or 8 months. So those first few months she did not pay rent. And I also mentioned that he was in a house fire. So I was trying to be considerate of both of them. The first few months I did not charge them. He was only staying there for 3 months. Now, sometimes he did, like, okay, if I said I really ain't got enough for groceries this week, he like cash at me $100 or something like that. But every time, like I mentioned, like I need help with bills and stuff, he just kept saying like, "Bruh, like you inconsiderate. You know, I just had a fire and all this stuff, and I'm trying to get my life back together." And he lost everything. So I did understand that. So I was trying to be very understanding and accommodating to everybody. Now, my best friend, she previously used to like working like the club life a little bit, like party promoting and shit. So I told her like, that's good money and that's quick money in Atlanta, like go back to doing that. Now she kept telling me she was trying to change her life, she wasn't going back to them and stuff. So that's why I went and started working in the club at night. However, I do agree, I feel like both of them should have been doing more and they was taking advantage. While we were staying together, she ended up going on social media a lot, specifically on Facebook, making little statuses and shit saying how she ain't had no real friends and all that. Now, me and my other best friend, we both was best friends with her. My other best friend, that didn't stay with me. And we basically tried to have like an intervention with her because we knew like she wasn't really acting like herself. But it's like, it's only so much shit you can do for a motherfucker until, because if they don't want to do it for themselves, they're not going to do it. And when we had the little intervention with her, she talked to us and stuff, and I'm not going to go into details because that is personal stuff that was going on. But after that, she really started acting like we was her enemies and shit. So she ended up, I guess she got mad at my other best friend too, and it became like 2 against 1. Like it was me and my best friend, because my best friend was on my side. And although she was best friends with her too, she kept telling her like, "Nah, you wrong for certain shit you doing and all this." So it turned into this big ass shit on social media too. As far as him, he didn't technically have a job. He did a little street shit. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So yes, he was not actually going to a job every day. All of that stuff was a red flag. I will agree with y'all on all of that. So another big important thing was when she moved up here, she was previously supposedly in like a abusive relationship, and I actually was in an abusive relationship before, so I'm very sensitive to stuff like that. Now the problem was when she actually told us the story, it really wasn't like it was a domestic violence situation, but I think she was more so hurt that her baby daddy had broke up. So more stuff had came out to where I was like, "What's the problem with you finding a place to stay?" And she was like, "Well, I really can't afford to stay on my own." So that was an even bigger issue. She was trying to push me to become roommates with her, but I had to stand my ground. I'm like, unfortunately, I was like, "You're not the first person to become a single mother out here." And I was like, "You got to make that shit happen regardless." And I was like, "I don't think it's a good fit for me and us to become roommates." So at the 60-day mark, she really didn't move out. She ended up coming and telling me like, I still don't have a place to stay, but I have applied for the second chance apartment. And, you know, they approved me, but it's not going to be for a few more weeks. So she did stay for a few more weeks. I told her she could.
Dress for my
During this time, we wasn't talking at all, though. Like, when I walk in the house, hey, keep it going. We're not really talking. We're not really acting like best friends no more. That's how I kind of knew like the friendship was definitely not really there no more. And I was like, but I thought that once she moved out, she got her place, she was good. Like, we'll be back good. Like, you know, this just a bump in the road. Mind you, this was not no random girl. Me and this girl been best friends for over a decade. Me, her, and my other best friend. Mind you, my other best friend lived out here too. She did ask She asked me to stay with her, but she knew that my other best friend wouldn't. Like, me and my other best friend is like one of the same person, but she like the meaner version of me. So she knew off tops not to ask her because the answer was gonna be no. And I think people take advantage of that from me because I'm always way more giving to people. And I really think that's kind of like the social worker in me. Like, I'm very empathetic to people's situations. And I do feel like both of them was equally good at gaslighting me because anytime I stressed like how I was struggling or anything was going on, he was like, man, your best friend here with her 2 kids and stuff like that, she need to help you more, like stuff like that. And she was saying the same thing about him. So it's like they was pitting against each other. And I know a lot of people ask like, was this fake? It's not fake. And I know y'all
Sorry, I had it so loud. Well, not loud. I had it close too. Sorry. Is it better?
He would text me from all these different text apps last year.
I was trying to find needle. Like one of my needle broke from my machine, and I was trying to find needle. I had no idea where I put them.
I haven't seen her since then. Like, she moved away. She really stopped talking to us and shit like that. I know she still stay in Atlanta though, and them two still talk because every time he did try to get back with me multiple times, but once I went having that shit, he started telling me like, that's why your best friend bossed up on you, and I'm still gonna support her, and I'm still gonna fuck with her. It was just a lot of back and forth, but he would always tell me that they still fucking with each other. Also, with the domestic violence thing, she used me until she got the apartment. She got an apartment like I think like 15 minutes from me or something, and literally as soon as she moved out, I think 3 weeks into her staying in that apartment, her baby daddy moved out of state and was living here with her. Now, what she didn't tell was that she was running his name through the dirt all on TikTok. She actually deleted all of the videos where she was saying how she was in an abusive relationship, and I felt some type of way about that too because I'm like, you using domestic violence to your likeness when you know you wasn't really in an abusive relationship. Relationship had ended. It was some court stuff involved, but it was more so her mother kind of being the aggressor to them. It was a whole lot, but it wasn't what she trying to make it seem. And then I was like, everybody looking at you crazy because somebody that you saying that was truly abusing you, you right back with them. Now I do feel like her saying that she couldn't afford to live on her own played a role, so she's likely using him to be able to sustain her living, and they do share kids together. But again, that's her business.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
And on social media,
It was tough finding where I put it. Like I forgot where I put it.
And I'm like, yeah, but I never really wanted to speak on it. The only reason I really came to social media now is because she's trying to make me look like the bad guy, and she keep making posts like sneak dissing us and shit like that. Ain't nobody did nothing to her. Now I will admit that when I was working these 2 jobs, she was watching my kids a lot too for me to go to work. So I would never take that from her.
No problem. Thanks for letting me know. I honestly didn't think it was loud.
Right before she moved
So
with me,
thank you
she
for
was
letting
staying
me
with
know
her
it was
parents,
loud.
but she kept complaining to us saying that they was using her, just trying to use her for her money and to pay their bills and stuff, and she wasn't able to focus on her career and all that stuff with them because they was overbearing. And she my best friend, so I'm not thinking she lying. So I'm like, cool, like, and she saying she wanted to move up there with us because me and my other best friend had already stayed here, and she was the only one back in the state. So now I feel like I'm pretty sure she probably telling them the same shit about us, like, or about me saying that I was just using her for her money. It was never that. Never that. And about somebody mentioned something about her paying the 400 like I was struggling. No. So I don't think I realized when somebody stay with you, your bills increase. So it's me and my 3 kids, 4 of us. Now we gone throughout the day because I'm at work, my kids at school. I'm gone from damn near right before 7, and I'm usually not home till about 7, 8 at night. That means that my utility bills, they pretty low because ain't nobody using them all day. It's totally different. My light bill is skyrocketed. The amount of money I need to set aside for the month for groceries has tripled because it's 4 other people living in my house. 2 of them grown as adults.
Now that you heard the full story, guys, is she tripping?
No, she not. She not
If you want to follow
tripping.
for more updates, go ahead and check her out on the
She
top
on
app.
to
She
something.
posts this daily, so yeah, go check her out. Until next time, guys, don't forget to follow my page for
Hi,
more content.
Miha. Thank you so much. Man, I am working hard to get my face super clear again. I had a really bad either allergic reaction breakout a few months ago. Gosh, it was terrible. But thank you so much. I'm trying to get my face back.
Now, sometime throughout all that process of him and her, like,
And thank you so much for
rekindling
joining. I'm
and
trying
completing
to grow
performance,
my
turned into him trying
channel.
to
I have this
unalive
30-day
her.
challenge going
Now,
on.
before
I'll
we
come
get
live
into
for
this
30
crazy
days,
story time, this
back
is the
to
name of
back.
the creator. She goes by Jasmine Jamisha. One word, all right, on TikTok. So follow her to follow her lives to get more updates on this situation because she is doing more updates. You just got to catch her on her live. So make sure you go over there and follow her TikTok account for more updates. All right, now for the rest of y'all already know
So I was live
and make sure y'all
earlier
watch this
and I
video
had
to
to
the end
stop
because it is 3
and
parts.
go
Now make
wash
sure
the
you save
fabric
it, book it, whatever you gotta do.
because for some
Let's get into
reason,
the story
like,
time.
fabric stores just not
Okay, y'all
keeping the
about to get y'all this
fabrics,
story
especially
time on how I
white
finally gave this
fabrics,
boy who been
safe.
pursuing me like for years a chance. And before I go any farther, if somebody been pursuing y'all for years, do not get them a chance because I just feel like they're gonna try to do you the worst way. They wanna do you dirty because they feel like you've been playing with them. Okay, but besides that, now I finally gave him a chance, which, okay, this boy is saying, oh, we gonna call him Marcus. This is my sister, cousin, but
I
me and
am
my sister, we
listening
don't have the
to
same father,
Messy
so,
Stories
that's how that go.
on
Now,
YouTube
3
here.
years ago on New Year's, I found that
His
we,
page is
we
called
seen
Messy
each other
Stories.
after a long time. So I finally gave him a chance. Like, he came to my house, we had sex. So, okay, after he came to my house, so we had sex. It's like we was together like every day after that. Like we just was together every day after that. Okay, so after we was together every day after that, like it's just like, I mean, he had a baby mama and I have a baby daddy. Okay, it's just given that, you know, we was still kind of fuck with his baby mama and I was still kind of fuck with my baby daddy, which put everybody in a weird position. Okay, so, you know, he at my house every day, but I mean, this not my man. Like I'm letting it be known. Like you're not my man. Like you and your baby mama, y'all still live together. I don't give a fuck that you at my house all the time or whenever I want you here, you're here. But you're telling me that you and your baby mama not together, but y'all live together. Like, you know, a typical nigga. Okay, so I'm just letting it be known to him, like, shit, we're not together. Like, I'm not with my baby daddy, so, like, you know, and I'm showing you, like, I'm not with my baby daddy. I don't live with my baby daddy or none of that. So I'm still going out on dates and shit, but
yes.
he wants to be like, even when I go out
this wouldn't have happened had I washed the fabric beforehand, before cutting it earlier.
At my house, like he was that type of nigga. Like
it wouldn't have been this.
Like it was just
but
like
I had to wash it.
Like,
I had to.
Y'all gonna hear the story. Like the man was so fucking obsessed with me, and it started to get scary. Okay, so like I used to go on dates. Shit, leave him in my house. When I come back from my dates, I'm back in the house. Like if you like it, I love it. So after a certain amount of time, I feel like he got tired of that. Like he just telling me like, basically, he need me to be all his. Like he not sharing and shit like that. But you know me, I'm not shit. I'm doing me. Like I'm not in a relationship. You're not just about to put me in a relationship, but. That's why you don't play with people's feelings because this shit, it just went all, like it turned upside down. So, y'all, after I just realized that shit, he was being too territorial, like he was not playing, like I just feel like his tone got different, like he wanted to fight me, like he was shit in my house, like he just turned so fucking angry. And then I'm like, okay, I don't want to deal with this no more. So like, I just stopped. You know, I'm just like, okay, maybe you should go home. You know, maybe we need our time apart. You know, so he went home to his baby mama house where they both live. So he went home. I sent him home. But around this time, it was like Father's Day was coming up. Now Mother's Day, he had gave me a gift and everything. You know, we had went out and everything. So when Father's Day came, I called him over, you know, to give him his gift because you know it's only right. He got me something, took me out, type shit. And my kids was with their daddy. Now my kids' father was he was planning on dropping them off that night, which he dropped them off. My kids' father dropped them off before Marcus came. But for some reason, like my kid's father, like he was snooping around my house, like he was just watching my house, trying to see who was coming in and out my house. Like, so once Marcus finally got there, him and my baby daddy had seen each other
But Marcus never told me when he got in the house. He never told me that he seen my baby daddy. Like I don't know why he told me this. He told me that he didn't know that that was my baby daddy. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How you don't know that this my baby daddy? Like you and my baby daddy have seen each other before, like in the past. Okay, but that's besides the point. So now my baby daddy texts me like, if that nigga don't get out that house right now, it's gonna be the worst day of y'all life. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I'm just so confused on what's going on. So I tell Marcus this because I need Marcus to be aware of what's happening as well. Like I don't want him to be in a blind about anything. I need him to know what's going on. So I tell him like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is my baby daddy texting me and shit like that. Now,
Why you telling
Marcus,
me
like,
this
he
too?
don't give a fuck. Like, he not, you know, he not thinking nothing of it because I'm also not thinking nothing of it. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not thinking like shit. I'm like, how this gonna be the worst day of my life? You can't get into my house. You don't, you know we not together. You know about Marcus. Like you know that this is supposed to be somebody I'm dealing with. Like, why are you upset? Okay, so me and Marcus, we haven't seen each other in a week, so you know we just catching up. We talking like we not thinking nothing of anything. So me and Marcus, we end up falling to bed. Like we end up falling asleep. Y'all tell me why at 3 in the morning we hear a big ass boom. Woke everybody in my house. Well, woke me and Marcus completely upright. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I get up to go to the window to see what was the big boom. Y'all tell me why my baby daddy burnt up Marcus' car. Come back for part 2.
Oh my god.
Okay, y'all, I'm back.
She said he burnt the car.
Okay, so now after my baby daddy blew his car, they boom. Now we go out, we see his car burnt up type shit. Now, of course, we gotta call the police and shit. Like, we call the police, they sent the fire department out. Y'all, this boy was crying so hard. The boy Marcus was crying so fucking hard, and I felt so bad. I'm just like, I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. Like, I never seen this boy cry or none of that. Like, he was just crying like a
burned
baby.
his car, of course.
And crying to me so hard. He was just like, this is how I get to work. This is how I do. Like, you know, this is his whole fucking car. And then he was paying a car. No, it's not like it was his car and it was paid off. And yeah, he was gonna have to answer to this dealership. So it's just that he didn't have insurance either, y'all. So it was all fucking bad. Like, man, y'all, I had already told y'all how he was already angry. Like, before I started talking to him, after that week, he was already angry. Like, and y'all, I was low-key trying to get this boy out of my fucking life, but now my baby daddy to burn his car. Shit, I don't want to be petty. Like, now I gotta help this man get to work. I'm letting him use my car to get to work, use my car to take his son his doctor's appointment, use my car to do things that he needs to do. And it's just like, this shit making me miserable at this moment because Tim, I was trying to get Marcus out of my life because I seen in the direction this was going. Now, shit, him, my baby daddy, right there.
Your baby daddy think you getting rid of him, but you made him extra stuck with her.
I'm helping him, I'm letting him use my car and shit, right? And then it just got so Marcus, he just got so fucking angry because he was there because, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like, of course, I was still talking to my baby daddy. For the simple fact of my kids, like we was talking on behalf of the kids, but Marcus did not want that. Like he was just like he didn't want me talking to this nigga at all. He like I don't like you know he didn't tell me this, but he was showing me like I don't want you talking to me at all. But he did tell me like I feel like you think I'm a goofy shit. You talking to your baby daddy shit like this. So yeah, tell me why 2 weeks go past now. 2 weeks go past and y'all, I'm fed up. Like I'm so unhappy in my house every single day. Man, y'all, I skipped this part. He didn't have insurance, but I did show him how to get insurance. And shit, like it's pretty simple. And then the insurance company but y'all, man, it wasn't his car. It wasn't paid off. He was paying the insurance.
How you don't have insurance on your car?
So yeah, I was so unhappy. Like I had to be around this man every day. He was using my car to go to work to do other things. I couldn't have access to my car when I needed to be, only because I wasn't trying to be petty. Y'all tell me why. Y'all is not gonna believe this shit. Tell me why. Shit, he got mail one day because I needed my car. I was about to go outside. He got mail one day because I needed my car, y'all. This man, Marcus, turned around and burnt my fucking car up. Y'all, it went the fuck up. Like, this man burnt my car up. He's like, then he texted me like, shit, you finna feel how I feel. And I'm just like, in shock. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck, y'all? I just cannot believe this. This around
That's some crazy
October,
shit.
he burnt my car up, y'all. November is my daughter's birthday. My daughter's birthday is November the 14th. Now, she had a hotel party. Now, man, I told y'all that this is my sister cousin. So we have a lot of mutual people in common. We have a lot of mutual people. So they invited her to her birthday. Shit, they brought his son to the birthday party and everything. Marcus, the whole time, like, he knew, like, what's going on because his family is there. He knows what hotel they at. All type of shit, like, what's going on. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have a hotel party. Shit. Come on now, manage y'all. My car was burnt up. My baby daddy had my mama boyfriend car to take us to the party. Y'all, Marcus know my mama boyfriend car. After we come from the hotel party, that night, y'all, we on our way to the fucking house. We had went to Longhorn after we come from the fucking hotel party, y'all. We on our way to the house. We pull up in front of the house. Man, Marcus had got a car. He had already got a car because this was like so we in front of my house. Now I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, cause I know Marcus' car. I'm looking in the mirror. What the fuck? Like I see him behind us. Where's he? I'm like, you imagine, it's my daughter's birthday. Both of my kids in the car. My baby daddy is in the car. I tell my baby daddy like to pull off. My baby daddy pull off. Marcus started following us. Now we get like to the next light. We get stopped at a light. Now I call Marcus. I'm like, Marcus, whatever you trying to do, my kids is in the car. Can you just like chill out? He on the phone like he don't get no fuck. That nigga burned my car up. He thought he was getting away with that. Y'all tell me why Marcus is shooting at the fucking car. He shot like 10 times at the car. No bullet got through the window, but y'all, that man shot like 10 times at the fucking car with me, my kids, and my baby daddy in it. Okay, y'all, I'm back for part 3.
Where they find these men at?
Man, y'all,
Damn.
stop that. Okay, so after that, of course, like Marcus, he drove the fuck off like he almost had an accident. All type of shit. Now, we drive, me and my baby daddy, we drive like closer to my house. We drive on Sand Street to call the police. Now, the police come. Now, the police come, I make a report and everything, man. My baby daddy just like, the police, so it's just like, okay. Now, okay, I make a report. The next morning, I go down to trying to order protection, whatever. Order protection and everything. Nobody's going to jail, but of course I was, I'm going on the process, like they call and asking me questions, detectives call and asking me questions, like asking me all type of shit, like, but then like it's like they get to telling me like they want my baby daddy to basically be involved. They want my baby daddy to answer questions and do shit like that. Now, him, a nigga just being a typical nigga, like I ain't police, I'm not finna tell the police shit like that. Okay, so my baby daddy is not cooperating with these people. It was only so much I could do. I just had my order of protection and everything. Now, at this point, I'm like, hell nah, I'm finna move. I gotta move, like, because it just went too fucking far. Like, we shooting up cars and burning up cars, and y'all doing too much at this point. Y'all is doing too much, and for me not to be with neither one of y'all is doing too much around. So, y'all, man, it took me I moved in 2 or 3 months, but within that 2 or 3 months, Marcus still wouldn't leave me alone, y'all. Like, when I tell you, the man was doing some movie shit. Like, he would come sit flowers by my fucking door. Like, now, man, y'all, my mama lived upstairs. I lived downstairs. Me and my mama lived in the same building. So mama would call me or knock on my door and be like, Mimi, my nickname is Mimi. Mimi, you got some flowers at the door. What the fuck? Who the fuck sending me flowers? Just send flowers at the door. The man would send flowers at the door and I don't know romantic shit. Like, he on some weird shit, like some fucking fatal attraction type shit. Like,
oh shit.
Like what the fuck you trying to tell me? I'm finna have a funeral or something? Why have you send flowers at my door? I'm not talking to you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not answering your phone calls. I changed my number. Like, he stayed making fake Facebook pages, y'all. Like, texting me on Facebook. I gotta keep blocking these Facebook accounts and everything, y'all. The man
Damn.
Putting flowers in front of my door. Y'all tell me why one fucking day we what the fuck is going on? Like, the neighbor come knock at our door, like, y'all backyard is on fire. The man set my backyard on fire. Like, luckily we caught that shit before he got any worse. Like, the man was pouring gasoline in front of my door. Like, he would not stop. Like, he didn't give a fuck about going to jail. Like, he didn't care about going to jail. He just was texting me on Facebook like, yeah, I feel like you played with me. I really loved you and I really wanted to be with you and I'm sorry and you accept my apology. Like, it was crazy, y'all. But to make a long it went on and dragged on, but it wasn't really too much that deep because I moved. My number was changed. I started fucking with him and started fucking with my baby daddy because at the end of the day, y'all was right in them comments. BD, you did put us in this position. Like, you put us in this fucking position. You done broke the man car. Now you burning your car. Now you doing all this. And y'all it's just too much. Y'all putting me in fucked up situations. Like,
yeah.
but y'all, look, this gonna be the last part. But I'm gonna go live later. So y'all tune me. I'm gonna go live probably 6 or 7 o'clock.
Alright, so y'all make sure y'all follow her for more updates on this situation. Did y'all see this text thread down here? Now, I know she said that his name is Marcus and that he created a lot of, he created...
Hey, don't push, Kaylin, don't push. Shut up, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
people
like,
one already
this kind of
pushing
sound
it.
obsessive. She needs
What
to
you
let
want?
her thing heal. This is what I'm talking about.
You do what you want.
I don't care about me no more.
You keep eating? Yeah.
He looking for something to cry about.
You need
Don't
to
give
get
up
better
on me. I
soon.
really
You have to
want
learn
you. I
things.
can't take not being with you. I never felt like this before. I know I really love you. I know we have a good life. We both want
Mommy
better. I
working
just
though.
need I just need you to believe in me. This man said that after shooting at you and burning up your baby daddy car. Now, I ain't gonna lie, your baby daddy did start some fire. I don't know why he was acting like that towards Mr. Marcus.
Hey, yo.
But, yeah, he's tripping. But Marcus should have been a better man, a better
What?
person to just leave you. I
You
don't
want
know.
gummies?
My
Okay, let
baby
me give you
Marcus should
some
call the
gummies.
police. Since you're dealing with two street
Let's go
dudes,
get
and you're
some
sleeping with two
gummies.
street dudes, you don't want that you're sleeping with two street dudes.
Time. You want gummies?
They gonna do what they gonna do. So it's kind of your fault. They trying to say it's the bar, it's the other guy's fault, but I think it's her fault. How is it the baby daddy fault? If she knew she playing both sides and he don't know that they playing both sides. She clearly saying, I'm sleeping with them, but I'm not with them. Yeah, I know y'all heard. Now I'm not gonna bash it, but you got some responsibility to too. While you talking about they talking about it's your baby daddy fault. Yeah, it's his fault. He should never started on fire with his jealous ass. But you knew that nigga was crazy. You should have let that other dude know, like, hey, this one a little bit unhinged. But that's where I come from. That's my point of view. What y'all think about this? Let me know in the comment section. Is she wrong? She should be held accountable. I'm not saying she should go to jail now, but I'm saying she should be held accountable in the sense of like, you knew better than that. You knew that other dude was crazy. Why you sleeping with two of these street dudes like this? Alright. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'm out. Listen, this story time right here is a bit touchy, and it could have a little trigger warning to it. It does have a lot to do with SA. So if that's a touchy subject for you, please do not proceed forward with this video. Now, this is her TikTok account. This is where I got this video. Now, as you can see down here, this video got 1.3 million views. So it came across my For You, and I was like, what? I was just blown away by this. So if you guys want to give her a follow, this is the account that you can follow. Again, it's on TikTok. Her name is Mariah Raynell. So go check her out. Now, for everybody who don't have a TikTok, don't you worry. You know I got you. I already put all those stories together. So check out these next clips. And let me know what you think at the end.
Story time on how I found out my dad was molesting my 4-year-old daughter. I'm not doing these for attention, for clout, for none of that. If I can tell my story and help somebody else, that's what I'm gonna do. First thing I want to say is pay attention to your kids. Your girls or boys, pay attention. It was the smallest thing that brought everything to light. Something that I could have absolutely overlooked, and I did not. Because I pay attention to my child, I look at everything. I pay attention to everything when it comes to her. I be paranoid, and it comes from my own childhood trauma. But anyways, so my dad lived about 2 hours from us. I had just finished school, and I was about to start my extern. My husband worked during the day, and I needed somebody to watch my daughter while I did my extern because she wasn't in school at the time. So my husband drove 2 hours to pick my dad up, brought my dad back to our house. So I started my extern. Everything was going good. Mind y'all, I ain't never told nobody this, but I was already paranoid. Like, it was something. I was paranoid that whole week. It was like little small stuff that was being done that kind of had me uneasy. But, okay, so the first thing was one day my husband was about to drop me off at my extern. It was like 8 in the morning. My daughter was in our room because my dad was in her room. So my baby was in bed asleep. My husband and I, we were leaving the house. And we were outside, I want to say maybe 30 to 45 seconds. Because my husband, when we got in the car, he realized that he left something. And he got up to go in the house. And when he got to our bedroom door, my dad was at the door. Mind you, my baby's in there asleep. It's like 8 in the morning. Before we left out the house, we told him that she was sleeping. That was weird to me, but then again, you couldn't tell him nothing about his grandchild. He loved his grandchild. I was thinking, like, maybe she was whining or something and he went to check on her, but my husband was like, she's asleep. Okay? So, another time, it was like my second or third day of my extern. My baby was playing in there with him. And she came out and she was just standing in the living room. And I could see his shadow in the hallway, like, with his hand, he was like beckoning her to come back to where he was, but he wouldn't ever say it out loud, which was weird because he just called her name. But it was like he was silently beckoning her, like he didn't want us to hear or see that he was calling her in the back where he was. Okay. After that, I don't know, I think it was, I wasn't even a week into my extern when we found this out. Like, okay, he was doing little weird stuff, just weird stuff.
mind y'all, like I said, I lived with my dad my whole life. He got a bunch of nieces, a bunch of granddaughters. Everybody loved him, man. Ain't nobody ever said nothing out the way about him. No rumors. He ain't never did nothing to nobody. Like, he was just a host of fun. Everybody loved him. Like, that's why I'm shocked and hurt, like, to this day. Like, it still bothers me every day. But anyway, so one day, my baby, she came in there, like, she was still, like, at night, she had, like, she was at the time, still, like, with the bed. So, she had on a pull-up because it was nighttime and she was getting ready to go to bed. So, she lay out on the couch and she put her hand in her pull-up. So, red flag, flag on the plate, I don't play it. Why your hands in your pull-up? But of course, I was like, babe, why you got your hand right there? Like, what's wrong? Where you get that from? Somebody did that to you? I'm asking questions. She was like, yes. So, I already know. When you question a child, you do not say a name. Like, you don't say nobody's name. Because, you know, that child can just go with whatever you're saying. So I'm just like, somebody did that to you? I didn't say no name. Mind you, the only men in our house is my husband and my dad, and it could have been a woman. I got a bunch of cousins, whatever. It could have been a woman. So my husband, my dad, and sometimes my brother come around, but yeah, at the time it was just us three in the house. So I'm like, somebody did that to you? And she's like, yeah. So I don't want to say her name, so I'm like, okay, baby, who did that? She was like, Papa. That's what she called my dad. I'm like, Papa, you know, I'm trying to get some clarity. Papa changed you. Papa, what, wiped you, took you a bath? I can't say exactly what it was that she did. She showed me what he did. And she also said something that he did. And my heart just dropped. Like, dropped. I was crying so bad. I told my husband and my dad got into an altercation. And yeah, I called my auntie. My auntie lived down the street from me, and I told her, and she was like, "Oh, I just don't believe he did that. I don't believe." Mind you, this my auntie on my mom's side. She was like, "I don't believe he did that." Wait, I gotta do a part. Part 2 on how I found out my dad was essaying my 4-year-old. And I'm emotional because I done recorded this part 2 like twice and it keep deleting, and I'm wondering if that's a sign like to just stop and let it go, but no. Okay, like I said, I called my auntie. My auntie was a police at the time in the town that we lived in. So, and she stayed right down the street. So naturally, I'm gonna call my auntie. I called my auntie. She came over, and I don't know if it was because I had just broke down crying, or because my husband and my dad had just had a argument and was yelling. But when my auntie started asking my baby questions, she would not answer the questions. And my auntie literally told me right there in my face, like, okay, I don't believe this. And it's my auntie might see this. Auntie no hard feelings, but yeah, that hurt. Anyways, so I'm getting emotional, y'all. Hold up. Okay, so my auntie said she didn't believe it, and
That's the
told me to take
problem.
my baby to the hospital.
That's the
I was
problem.
gonna do it
Family
anyway. I
members
didn't
don't
see
believe.
anything, but I still wanted to take her to get checked up. So we took her to the hospital.
hospital, when the doctor came in, she told us off jump, like, usually you don't find no type of physical evidence with cases like that. But my baby ended up telling the doctor the same thing that she told us. And they called, okay, we went to the hospital in Memphis because it's the closest hospital to the children's hospital in Memphis. It's the closest children's hospital near us, even though we stay in Mississippi. So they ended up calling the police from Mississippi because that's where we live to the hospital in Memphis.
Yeah, I'm getting a call. I'm just gonna let it ring for a minute. This story is emotional. I really thought I had. I guess I don't, so just gonna have to do without.
The police, they call, that's the station that my auntie work in. So, they came, took our state, and the doctor had just told us that she saw something, and it could have came from constipation, like some strain with constipation, or it could have came from something else. And they could have taken her somewhere else and did an invasive testing, but it wasn't recommended. So I told my auntie that, and like I said, the woman wasn't sure where it came from, and I didn't want to do the invasive testing. So, of course, that's not going in nobody's paperwork or whatever. So my auntie was getting access to the files or whatever. So she called, like, talking about she didn't see anything about, what I had just said. Of course you don't see it. And we don't even know if that's where it came from, That upset me so bad because you don't believe her, and now you're looking at files talking about what you don't see. So anyways, they made it to where my auntie couldn't even access those files anymore because I was so upset. And hardly nobody, well, at first everybody was like, oh, that's so sad, and he wrong for that. But a year later, everybody is best friend, y'all. Everybody is best friend. Everybody always talk to him, and he missed y'all, and this, that, the third, y'all. My family, my mama people.
Look at this, y'all.
You don't think she got that off YouTube? What's YouTube? Yeah, that is so hurtful. For people to doubt your child, that's hurtful. But I understand a little bit because of his character. Like I said, we all grew up together. My cousins, I got plenty of girl cousins. He got plenty of granddaughters, nieces. He never did this to none of us. None of us, y'all. He never made us feel uncomfortable in no type of way.
That's a demon.
My mom died when I was 14 years old. I lived with my dad my whole life. He got full custody of me. My dad never made me feel uncomfortable. He never did nothing to me. Never said nothing to me out the way. But the way my daughter said what she said, the way she demonstrated what he did to her, I would be a fool to deny my child. I would be a fool to just sweep that under the rug and be like, oh, she 4 years old. She don't know what she's talking about. That came off YouTube. Yeah, these folks set up an interrogation for my baby 2 weeks after
Hey, babe. What's up? Okay, where y'all stopping? What's in there? Okay, well, when you get there, let me know what you're seeing. Alright. And Brian had did salad and wings and stuff earlier. So the girl's okay. Mimi okay too. Mm-hmm.
2 weeks later, my 4-year-old went into the interrogation room with the police, the CPS worker, and the child therapist and repeated the same thing. She even told them stuff that she didn't even tell us because she was afraid to tell us. 45-minute long interrogations 2 weeks later.
Wow.
She did what needed to be done. That's the exact thing that the CPS worker said to me when they came out of that room. She was like, she did a good job. She said what
That
needed
man
to be
thought he was
said.
gonna get away with
They
it.
took that tape over to a grand jury or something like that, y'all. That was a year ago. I don't know what's going on. So I've been messed up. I can't lie. My dad was literally all I had. All I had. My best friend, literally. So the fact that he did this to us, and I gotta sit up here a whole year later, and my baby comes to me and she say she miss her papa. My baby wants to see him. She wants to go to his house. She wanna know why he didn't just apologize. She said, Mama, why didn't we just let him apologize? Why didn't we do that in the first place?
Wow.
Why he couldn't apologize like a real friend do?
Oh, wow.
I had to explain to her, it don't work like that, baby. What he did, that's not right. You can't just let somebody do that to you and forgive them. She don't understand.
No, she's a child. She don't
And I'm
understand that.
fighting with this every day because not only did this happen to my child, but I lost my best friend mystically because if you know me, you know that my dad was literally my best friend. I'm talking about on the phone 4 and 5 times a day. Like, that's what kind of bond we had.
Y'all, I'm gonna stop the video because my phone is about to die. And I'm gonna charge it up, but I'll come back in a little bit.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm getting emotional. I gotta go.
I just want to start
It's
by
on
saying
charge, but
I
it's just
appreciate
not
everything
charging
that
fast
a
enough.
good mom would do in this situation.
It's
Like, I am
6%.
extremely proud of how
So
she
I'll
handled
come
the
back
situation
in
because
a
a lot
little
of family
bit.
members